Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Empowered. Today's episode is about a lesson that took me 35 years to understand. That life doesn't always give us a clear-cut path labeled good or bad. Instead, every choice, every decision comes with its own unique set of pros and cons, opportunities and sacrifices. And learning to accept that complexity, that imperfection, is one of the most liberating lessons on the journey to self-trust. In this episode, I'll share personal stories, moments when I felt caught between choices, wishing for the one perfect path to appear, only to realize that life just doesn't work that way. We'll talk about the power of self-trust, letting go of the need to be right, and how embracing every step as a part of our unique path helps us live with more compassion and confidence. If you've ever struggled with decision or the fear of making the wrong choice, this episode is for you. Let's dive into how we can learn to trust ourselves more deeply, lean into the unknown, and find peace in the process. So with no further ado, let's dive in. This episode is brought to you by Intelligent Change, the creators of the tools like the 5-Minute Journal and the Productivity Planner, designed to help you build mindfulness and intention in every day. Ready to start transforming your daily habits? Visit intelligentchange.com and use code Alchemia10 at checkout for a special 10% discount, just for my amazing listeners. So let's start with something we all wrestle with at some point, the belief that there's a perfect path in life. Growing up, we're often given this idea, whether explicitly or implicitly, that if we make the right choices, everything will fall into place. We're told there's a good or bad choice for every decision, a clear way forward that will lead to success, happiness, and fulfillment. I believed in that ideal for years. Always wondering if I was on the right path, always second-guessing if I'd made the best decision. But life, as I discovered, has a way of showing us that reality is far more complex than that. For me, the concept of the perfect path wasn't just an idea. It was something I actively sought after. I'd often weigh my opinions, looking for signs that one choice would bring me closer to the ultimate sense of happiness, the aha moment where everything would finally make sense. I believed that there was a version of my life where everything lined up perfectly, where I'd feel fully aligned, fully successful, and completely validated by my choices. But what I found instead was that each choice I made, each turn in my journey, came with an own set of unique challenges and unexpected benefits. There was no single answer, no one-size-fits-all formula. And the constant search of this mythical perfect path left me feeling more exhausted and uncertain than ever. I think it's natural to crave certainty and validation, to want to feel like the choices we make are bringing us closer to something meaningful. We look at others who seem to have it all figured out, and we wonder if maybe they found the path we missed. But what we often don't see is the struggle, the sacrifices, and the compromises that come with every decision, every path taken. The truth is, we rarely get a clear map in life, and that ambiguity can be terrifying. For years, I thought if I just worked hard enough, planned carefully enough, I could somehow avoid the detours, the setbacks, and the losses. But real growth doesn't happen in a straight line. And real fulfillment isn't found by sticking to some ideal path. As I look back now, I realize how much energy I wasted trying to avoid any path that might seem wrong or less than perfect. I spent so much time worrying about choosing poorly, about veering off course, that I missed out on fully embracing the beauty and the lessons that come with each experience. Life isn't about avoiding mistakes, it's about allowing ourselves to learn from them. When we believe there's only one good path, we put an immense amount of pressure on ourselves to make every decision flawless. But that's not real life, and it's certainly not sustainable. I had to learn through many personal experiences and difficult choices that each path we make brings its own wisdom, its own challenges, and its own growth. There is no magical route that will spare us from hardship or guarantee us happiness. Each road we take is layered with highs and lows, and that's okay. It's part of being human, part of the journey. What I now understand is that life's richness comes not from finding the right path, but from embracing the paths we do take fully, with all their imperfections. The beauty lies in the journey, not the destination. There's a freedom that comes when you realize the need to choose perfectly and allow yourself to experience life as it unfolds, even if that means facing uncertainty and stepping into the unknown. Each decision shapes us, teaches us, and ultimately brings us closer to understanding who we are. So, as we dive into this episode, I want to invite you to let go of the illusion of the perfect path. Let's start embracing the idea that all paths come with their own set of pros and cons, and that there's no right way to live a meaningful life. Instead of looking for certainty, let's start looking for growth, for depth, and for the lessons each journey has to offer. I remember so vividly the moment my husband told me about a job opportunity he was given, a chance to move to Paris. At the time, my children were just 4 and 2, and we were settled into a life that felt comfortable, quite structured, and in many ways predictable. But when he shared the possibility of uprooting everything and starting fresh in a new country, I had a revelation. This was one of those moments that was supposed to feel monumental, a yes or no turning point that would dictate our path forward. And for so long, I believed that if I just chose the right option, everything would fall perfectly into place. But standing there, listening to him describe the opportunity, I realized with complete clarity, the perfect path doesn't exist. Both choices, staying in our familiar life or stepping into the unknown in Paris, came with their own mix of pros and cons, risks and rewards. Moving would mean leaving behind our support system and diving into uncertainty with 2 young children, and staying would mean wondering what if. And it was an aha moment where I felt like the veil had just been lifted. The idea of the right or perfect choice was an illusion, one I had been holding on to tightly for years. In that moment, I understood that no path is completely smooth or completely challenging. Each comes with its unique journey, its own gifts and difficulties. And the beauty of life is in accepting that every choice we make will lead to growth as long as we embrace it fully. Choosing between the familiar and the unknown wasn't a question of right or wrong. It was a chance to step into a new story, whatever the story might hold. I think back to all the crossroads I faced in life, and one thing that is crystal clear now is that every choice, no matter how right or wrong it seems in the moment, comes with trade-offs. It's something I wish I understood sooner. For so long, I approached decisions as if they were puzzles with only one correct solution, as if I could somehow predict and control every outcome. But life doesn't work like that, does it? Each choice comes with a blend of rewards and sacrifices, and recognizing this has been so transformative. One of the most eye-opening experiences was when I had to decide whether to fully commit to my business alchemia or take a safer, more subtle job path. On one hand, I knew that putting my heart into alchemia meant fulfilling a dream, building something meaningful from the ground up. But I also knew it came with uncertainties, financial stress, and an unpredictable schedule that would impact my whole family. The alternative, a steady job, would give me the predictable income, the security, and perhaps less stress day to day. But at what cost? I'd have to sacrifice the chance to follow my vision and live out the purpose I felt so deeply. And at that moment, I came to understand that whatever I choose, I would be leaving something behind. If I took the job, I'd always wondered that what if for my business. But if I poured my energy into alchemia, I'd be taking a leap into the unknown waters. And here's the thing, there was no better option. Both options offered benefits, both held risks, and both meant trading one thing for another. This realization that every decision is a balance of gain and loss helped me let go to the need of the perfect answer. We often expect clarity to come in forms of one clear, shining option, but clarity sometimes comes when we simply accept the imperfection of all options. Life isn't about finding a path without trade-offs. It's about choosing a path you're willing to commit to, challenges and all. When I decided to go all in with alchemia, I wasn't choosing a path without hardship. I was choosing a path that aligned more deeply with my sense of purpose. And in accepting the trade-offs, I found a kind of peace. I stopped agonizing over what I might be missing, and instead, I focused on making the most of what I had chosen. It's a continuous process of waiting and letting go, of realizing that any meaningful choice will ask something of you. This insight has taught me to appreciate the journey in itself, rather than fixating on finding the right answer. Because in life, we rarely get one without sacrificing a little of the other. And it's okay. That's part of being human, of learning and of growing. Accepting complexity has been one of the most challenging and liberating lessons I've learned. For years, I wanted things to be simple, to make sense in a way that felt clear-cut. In my mind, I divided choices into good or bad, right or wrong. as though life were that black and white. But as I grew, as I made more difficult decisions, and as I experienced the unexpected twist that life throws at us, I came to see that simplicity is often an illusion. Life is complex, and no choice comes with perfect clarity. This realization hit me hard when I became a mother. As parents, we're often bombarded with messages about the right way to raise children, the right way to balance work and family, and the right path to create a stable, fulfilling life. But the truth is, there is no universal right way, only the way that resonates with you. Every decision I make for my family, my career, or myself involves a level of uncertainty, a bit of a sacrifice, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. Parenting, in particular, has shown me that you can do everything right and still face outcomes that you didn't expect or prepare for. Children are individuals with their own needs, personalities, and challenges, and they don't always respond to the textbook approach. And so I learned to let go this need of control every outcome and simply do my best within the complexities of it all. Another layer to this acceptance of complexity has been learning to navigate relationships, especially family relationships. Family dynamics are rarely straightforward. They're shaped by years of shared experiences, differing personalities, unspoken expectations, and sometimes unresolved tensions. There's love, but also frustration. There's closeness, but also boundaries that need to be maintained. I've learned that it's okay to hold conflicting emotions, that I can love someone deeply while also choosing to distance myself for my own well-being. Accepting this complexity in relationship has allowed me to honor both my need for connection and my need for self-respect. I no longer see relationships in terms of perfect harmony or complete distance. Instead, I see them as evolving, intricate parts of life that require balance and boundaries. Accepting complexity has also helped me redefine success. In my early years, I had a very specific idea of what success looked like, one where everything fell neatly into place, where life was orderly and predictable. But as I grew, I realized that success often looks messy, non-linear, and full of contradictions. There are many times when I feel accomplished in my work, but struggle in my personal life, or vice versa. I've learned that it's okay for life to be messy, that I don't have to achieve perfection in every area to be successful. Success to me has become about resilience, adaptability, and the courage to keep moving forward even when things aren't clear-cut. This journey of embracing complexity has taught me to let go of the pressure to always have everything figured out. It's about learning to live in the gray areas, to be comfortable with ambiguity, and to find meaning in the layers of life. This acceptance has brought a new sense of peace. It's allowed me to let go of the need to explain every decision, to justify every feeling, and to tie everything up neatly. Instead, I focus on showing up authentically, doing my best, and trusting that even in complexity, there is beauty and growth. At the heart of this lesson is understanding that life is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived. It's not about making everything perfect or simple. It's about finding fulfillment in the depth and, yes, the messiness of it all. Embracing complexity has given me the freedom to live more openly, to approach challenges with a sense of curiosity rather than the need for control, and to honor the journey rather than the destination. I want to bring some of the powerful insights from Mel Robbins, but before we dive into, let me give you some insight on who Mel Robbins is. Mel is a powerhouse in personal development and self-motivation. She's a best-selling author, motivational speaker, and former lawyer who helped millions of people worldwide transform their lives. She's best known for her practical, no-nonsense approach to overcoming fear and self-doubt, especially through her popular 5-second rule, which teaches that the smallest action can have profound effect. Her work centers on building self-trust, resilience, and courage, guiding people to break out of patterns that hold them back. Her insights remind us that self-trust and self-compassion aren't luxuries, they're essentials for everyone on a path of growth and resilience. Robbins often talks about the importance of showing up for ourselves, and one of her key messages is that you are never, ever going to feel like you're doing the things that are hard, the things that are uncomfortable, or the things that are uncertain. This has been so impactful in my journey because it reminds me that self-trust is built not in moments of ease, but in those exact moments of hesitation where we need to take actions in spite of our doubts. Robbins also emphasizes the need for self-compassion in the process of growth. She says, "Your doubts create mountains, your actions move them." This speaks to the fact that self-trust doesn't mean never feeling unsure. It means choosing to act anyway, grounded in the belief that we are capable of handling whatever comes next. In moments of uncertainty, when it's tempting to turn to others for validation or guidance, Robbins reminds us to stop waiting to feel ready and to trust ourselves to make decisions that align with who we are. Self-compassion for Robbins is about forgiving ourselves for our mistakes and understanding that failure is part of learning. She encourages us to look in the mirror and see a friend, someone who's doing their best. For me, this has been a beautiful reminder that treating myself with kindness and respect is fundamental to building genuine self-trust. So as we end this episode, think about what it means to show up for yourself, even in the messy, complex moments. Trust isn't built overnight. It's earned one decision at a time. Embrace your path, extend your self-compassion, and remember that you have everything you need within you to face life's twists and turns. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. This episode has been a deeply personal exploration of self-trust, understanding that life's paths are rarely perfect, and embracing the courage to keep going even when the road is uncertain. I hope that as you move forward, you'll remember that it's okay to choose the path that feels right for you, even if it's complicated, even if it's not what others expect. EmpowHERed is here to be that safe space for these kinds of reflections, for real talk about growth, resilience, and self-compassion. Every episode, my hope is that you'll find something that resonates, something that helps you feel seen, validated, and reminded that you're not alone in this journey. If this episode spoke to you, please hit subscribe, leave a review, or share it with someone who might need a little extra encouragement today. Your support helps us build this space, a space where we can all come back to when we need a reminder of our own worth and strength. Let's keep creating a community of retreat where we can empower each other to embrace our journeys wholeheartedly. Until next time, remember, you are enough just as you are, and you're exactly where you need to be. Take care, my beautiful souls, and see you soon.